Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to do a couple books I picked up from the library. I always love doing art reads, and it's so much fun to check out what our collection has. This is Colored Pencil, a playful guide to drawing with colored pencil on the go. This is by Cara Hanley, and this was published in 2018, so it is a little bit older. If you're looking for a gently used copy, maybe for a gift or for yourself, bookfinder.com is a great place that sort of culls from Amazon, eBay, and a lot of used book publishing and selling sites. So you can find something in whatever condition you prefer if you don't want to buy something very new, if this is a book you're interested in. It's fairly thin. It's about 120 pages, and let's look and see. So it has an introduction, tools, materials, drawing techniques, color theory basics, creating on the go, step-by-step drawing exercises, interior decorating, fruits and veggies, furniture, on-the-go items, pets, portraits, campers, very specific, nature and its furry friends, architecture, coffee comforts, travel sketching, mixing it up with multimedia, and then a little bit about the author. So, she has a very specific illustration style when it comes to colored pencil, and that is something you'll want to consider if you are interested in colored pencil or you're interested in art. When different artists and creators publish their books, they publish them in the way that they create. So to learn from them is to learn a bit of their style. And if their style doesn't appeal to you or it holds no interest to you, that is something you'll want to consider when checking out books, buying books, all the different things. So she has a very, I would say, playful, whimsical style that is lighter handed. It's not very three-dimensional. She's not going for hyper-realism. She's just going for sort of general shapes more than forms. I apologize for the loud cars in the distance, but it is very fun. She has a very fun sort of style here. Step-by-step drawing exercises. Now this book, I would say, is good for all ages. Definitely beginners. This would work for children as well. There's very clear, concise steps that are laid out with clear instruction. So if you are just starting out with colored pencil or you're just starting out with art, this would be a great introductory book to that. I am doing Botanicals this month, and this book has some, which is absolutely lovely. And these are very fun shapes. That looks like a, monstera. It's a very distinctive plant because of the holes in the leaves. Let's check out fruits and veg for more botanicals. So she has broccoli. I have drawn some of these before, some of these I haven't. Again, this is a very fun introductory course. Here she covers berries in 2 steps. And then she gets into other subject matter. The dog expression. I'm not going to show you every page, but coffee culture is a thing. Travel sketching, if you plan on taking trips and learning how to do really quick shape gestural drawings like this, can be very effective, especially if you're on the go, if you're doing like different tours while you travel and you're looking at things within certain time frames. Learning how to draw quickly and just getting the general shape down and maybe taking a photograph and then going back later to your hotel room or wherever you're staying and then filling in the details later is a great way to sort of capture some things really quickly for your sketchbooks. Waves. Water's hard. Mixing it up with multimedia. I approve. Multimedia is a ton of fun. So combining ink with colored pencils is a ton of fun. And look at all her botanicals and the fun shapes. So some of this is colored pencil, some of this is watercolor, all botanicals though. This is a great little introductory book. Oh, and it has pencil erasings in it. And there's the author. Oh, I like her blue hair. That's fun too. Okay, so this is a fun book. Retail price. It looks like in the United States, $17. UK looks like 11 pounds, and then looks like it's 22 Canadian. So that's this book, and it's about 6 years old. So you might be able to find it pretty budget. The next book isn't an art book, but I picked it up because I'm doing botanicals, and I wanted to reiterate the idea that every book you go to look at or choose to pick at the library doesn't have to be in the art section. It doesn't have to be in the drawing section. It could be in the gardening section. It could be in the botany section. Explore the whole library. Go to the children's section. Sometimes children's books with learning to draw or learning to paint are these steps are really, really concise, because it's that sort of quote, if you can't explain it to a child, you don't know it well enough. So children's books on learning how to draw and create in different subject matters sometimes are much better at explaining topics, especially like children's botany when it comes to like flowers and the stamen and the petals and breaking down all the different parts. So this book is In the Name of Plants. And this is From Attenborough to Washington, The People Behind Plant Names. And this is by Sandra Knapp. This book is 2 years old. It looks like it retails for $25 US. And this is a plant book of plant names. And I thought that this would be a great reference and a great way to see other illustration styles and other ways to convey different plant pieces. And here they start with a fern, which I'm here for it. This is lovely. So it's basically all the names in alphabetical order of plants, and then an index. And this is the illustration style and all the different parts of the plant. And here are some different, this is fantastic. All the parts broken down in the individual pieces of the plant. And that is a style. Again, if you're interested in history, books like this can be fascinating. That's a beautiful illustration. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, found in Africa and Madagascar. Yes, I approve. This one's interesting. Okay, so a herbarium is a way to catalog and keep actual plant species in a bound book. It is an acid-free. When you go to collect, I will link a really good how-to herbarium sort of video. You want to include all parts of the plant for identification. So you want the stem, you want the leaf. If there's a flower, you want the flower. If there are seed pods, you want that. You want pieces of the roots. And then everything is taped with like acid-free special tape. And then there's very clear, concise labeling. And there is a science to putting together these sort of plant collection books like this. These are used all over everywhere. So histories, like plants. Some plants go extinct. That's a thing. So museums, scientists, different places, a lot of them have like their own style and the way they do these. Again, I will link a video in the description box if you want to see more done by like an actual professional that knows how to bind and put those together and what parts to include. And I mean, they wear gloves. It's the whole scientific thing. It's like taking flower pressing and sort of pressing leaves and things to the next level and making sure that you include all the parts and all the identification so you can go back and look at that. See, and here they have, I don't know if you can see this, it's a little tiny pencil sketch. And then here we have, boy, is that the flowering? Oh, that's really pretty. So, looking at color theory, we have the green, and we have like the peach. It's a very pale, and it goes into the red. So it's very complementary colors. This plant clearly understands color theory. This is beautiful. Here they chose to add a caterpillar. They chose to add, I think that's a moth. You can tell the difference between a moth and a butterfly by the antenna. I'm not an entomologist, but it is interesting. So here's the plant drawn, and here's the plant photographed. So thinking about how different drawing styles and how you want to include that, here's another. Okay, wow. April to May of 1770 around Botany Bay, Australia. This is a very old specimen that's been collected. That's amazing. For the science and the art, and there's a nice, you know, it's a Venn diagram with a lot of overlap. And you can go monochromatic with your illustrations and all the pieces. I'm not going to show every single one, but there are, here's a great one. So here we get the plant, we get the full flower, we get a bud that's, so the petals are starting to break. We get what the bud looks like when a flower first starts. We have the plant portion, and then we have what the roots look like. So that is a full illustration of the entire plant, which is lovely. For identification purposes, that makes it much easier. Here is a whole branch, and the flowers come up this way. That is unique. Linnea has 3 types of shoots. One produces colonial plants by vegetative reproduction. Another creeps along the ground, extending the plant horizontally, and the last develops the inflorescence. That's amazing. That's an amazing plant. I have never seen that in person. These are beautiful. I mean, look at the penmanship. Number 497. Again, color theory. I love plants where the veins are a contrast. I have a leaf specimen here. This is a Norway maple. And again, it's October, so the leaves are changing color. But you can see the red veining and the green. So it's the green and the red. It's so beautiful for drawing. I'm gonna put it in my sketchbook. I just need time. There we go. Bird of paradise. That's really pretty. It's from Southern Africa. Number of species, 5. It's from the traveler's palm family. Gosh, that's pretty. It's a great illustration. And then you also think about background color. They chose to go with yellow. It's very harmonizing with the yellow petals. It really highlights those and brings those out. So remember, warm comes towards you and cool recedes. So depending on what you want to come forth and what you want to go back, color can assist with that. And then they have a doodle here of one of the stamens. Very nice. Yep, very pretty. So it says the striking combination of bright orange and bright blue attracts pollinating birds. I bet it would. Bright colors in animals often denote poisonousness. It doesn't really apply to plants. Here's a really good herbarium sort of sampling here. All the different pieces, parts. Very cool. So you can draw from anything, and these looks like they've been flattened. These are fun illustrations as well. Here is a background, so they put theirs in context. Again, this is not an illustration book. This is not an art book, but it has botanical art illustrations that show different styles. So this looks like magnified portions of roots in the inside and bottom of the flower petals. That's really cool. There's so many different ways you can draw plants. And this book does a great job of highlighting different ones. Here's just a piece. Wow, this is from India. I don't know how to pronounce that. Urail ferox. Wow. Extremely prickly. Okay, so there's thorns, prickles, spines. Most roses have prickles. They don't have thorns. Bougainvillea has like spines. There's another herbarium sort of sampling here. And people. Lots of people. People who did things. And then the index, which you want a good index. It helps to know that there's a lot of plants and things covered. So, in the name of plants. And the front cover is very dynamic as well. This is a very great illustration of the leaves and the veins. And when drawing or painting or creating and the plant or the flower happens to be white, you have to figure out how to sort of denote the edging, and they did a great job with making sure the leaves go all the way around so the flower stands out. I have a little sample here. This is a variegated leaf. If I were to draw this, I would have to come up with something to highlight the edges of this, or it would just bleed into the white page and it wouldn't show it very well, it wouldn't look good. So this was the petals were framed very nicely by the leaves, so it continues to stand out. Well done, illustrator. So these are the 2 books. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.